They're the hottest team in basketball, but questions still remain with the New York Knicks, who've won 7 in a row, including a 113-92 beatdown of the Charlotte Hornets without Julius Randle or OG Anunoby. They won 13 of their last 15 games. Alex Wolfe from Locked On Knicks joins me now. And Alex, Julius Randle sounds like he's going to be out a couple weeks here with a separated shoulder. We still don't quite know the timeline on that one, but that raises even more questions about how the Knicks should be handling this trade deadline. As you look at this team as currently constituted, how pressing of a need do you think there is to make a move now with this team?
I think there is still a pressing need to make a move, but I don't think it's to address the Randle injury. I think it's to still address the hole in the roster that the Knicks need to address, which is the secondary, or not secondary, but like, I guess just another creator that can play off the bench. And, you know, they've had their eyes on Malcolm Brogdon. There's been some links to Jordan Clarkson. Terry Rozier could have been a target, but obviously just got traded to the Heat. There's a number of other options out there, but Brogdon seems to, well, I guess DeJounte Murray, if they want to take a little more of a swing, and take a little more superstar upside, but a little more volatile of a player. But I think that's still probably going to be their priority going into the trade deadline. Getting a guy, any one of those three guys, if they would go out and get them, has money on the books going into next year. They can still be around, so if things take a turn for the worse and he's not able to come back this year for whatever reason, as he rehabs this shoulder, then they still have that player going into next year. I think they're willing to just kind of roll the dice and see how things go, though, as far as replacing Julius's minutes. It was a really interesting lineup choice tonight to go with Precious Achiuwa out there. But I think on an ordinary night where they had OG Anunoby available, it would have been Josh Hart subbing into that Randle spot. And obviously you lose a bunch of size that way, but rebounding wise, he's still really good. Defensively, he can certainly hold up to fours and stuff like that. So I think they're going to probably just go that direction. Maybe you run into a situation where if they're dealing with Portland or with Utah or with Atlanta or whomever else, that they're just kind of like, hey, can we get another power forward type player back in this deal? If there's a small salary on those teams that they're willing to throw in to kind of just provide a little extra depth there while they wait for Randle to get back. But I don't know, things are looking pretty good. Like their schedule is easy. It's as easy as it's going to be from now until about the All-Star break. And then obviously you have the All-Star break, which will give Randle some more time to heal. So hopefully it's more of like a 3-4 week situation, not a 5, 6, 7, 8 week situation. But unfortunately, it's a sort of a volatile injury, and we won't really know till he starts rehabbing it.
Yeah, you mentioned OG Anunoby and his impact on the team. I mentioned that 13 of 15 record at the top. That is with OG Anunoby. They have been a fundamentally different team with him on the court. How has he impacted this team the most, would you say?
Obviously, the defensive end. I mean, that's that's just what he does. I mean, he's
also
crazy.
Shooting the lights out.
Yeah, but you sort of expected that, you know what I mean? Like based off his career numbers, he's going to shoot like almost 40% from three. Granted, he's been shooting better than that with the Knicks, but he's showing some new stuff on offense too, which is great. Like he keeps kind of bringing out like one new thing or so every game. Like he's starting to do a little bit off the dribble. And like, I still think you kind of have to get him going downhill. I keep saying he's like a running back. Like you have to like get him a handoff when he's already in motion to make things work. But as long as you do that, like suddenly he can bust out a dribble move or something, as long as he's already moving by the time he gets the ball. If he has to do stuff from a standstill, it's a little iffy. But he's been doing great with that, getting to the rim. He's an elite level vertical athlete as far as like getting to the rim, dunking, like just, I mean, it's things that maybe other teams take for granted, but on the Knicks, they've had a lot of ground bound guys that don't necessarily have those ups. And so it's like a big revelation to have a wing that can get in there and just like jam it and just like go up powerful with two hands and throw it down. So that's been great. But then on the defensive end, just the pressure that he creates, the transition opportunities with his length and the ability to just get in the passing lanes and start those fast breaks, his ability to finish those fast breaks once he gets going. And then also just his switchability. I mean, he's shown the ability to, the Knicks avoid switches as much as they can, but no matter what they happen in the NBA, and any player that has had the misfortune of having OG switched onto them has just had their life turned into a living hell.
Stay up to date all year on the New York Knicks by subscribing to Locked On Sports today and Locked On Knicks on your favorite podcast app and on YouTube.